Well, you know, I mean, everybody still talks about Hercules. I mean, Hercules lasted, that was my first big break. I shot that in New Zealand for 7 years. It became the most watched TV show in the world. I can't complain about that. They wanted to go even longer on it, but I got an offer to play Captain Dylan Hunt in a Gene Roddenberry show called Andromeda, and I did that for 5 years. So, you know, from 1993 to 2005, I had, you know, 12 straight years of solid work. It was great. The last 5.5 years, I've been doing a bunch of different movies and just staying busy with that. I just sold 2 new TV series that hopefully will get picked up in America. Legendaria, we sold to the Sci-Fi Channel. It's really just a spoof on myself. It's I love the idea of the Galaxy Quest show, which really made fun of the Star Trek franchise. And since I did a Star Trek franchise with Andromeda, I said, you know, why not have, you know, I end up playing myself as Kevin Sorbo that hasn't done a thing since Hercules. I've done nothing. No one's hired me. And 11 years later, a kid that grew up watching Hercules, is 22 now, approaches me to let me know that all the gods and the mythological creatures that I fought, that they aren't mythological at all, but they're in fact real, and they're living in Los Angeles. So he hires me to help him battle these creatures. Yet, you know, of course, when I see a Hydra, a real Hydra, I run like a little 5-year-old girl out the door. So Sci-Fi Channel bought it, they love it, but they have made no move on making it yet. Meet the Spartans was a blast. I remember I lived really outside of Los Angeles, like 50 kilometers outside. So I had some meetings that day, but there was a 3-hour window where I didn't have between meetings. And I didn't want to drive all the way back home. So I went to see a movie, and I went to see 300. Everybody said, you got to see this movie. So love the movie. But I remember during it, I thought, they're so serious, you know, and they had this huge hole in the middle of town. I said, how many dogs and kids fall down there every day? And I thought, that's just it's so funny, that pit of death. And I said, this is a perfect movie to make fun of. Well, it was like 2 weeks later, I get a call from the directors of Meet the Spartans saying, look, we're spoofing Meet the Spartans. We're spoofing 300 in a movie called Meet the Spartans. We want you to play the captain, the right hand of King Leonidas. And I said, dude, I didn't see the script. I'm in. So, you know, we did that on Hercules. That was sort of on purpose. I mean, Michael Hurst, who played Aeolus, my sidekick, and I did it on purpose. They let us do a lot of ad-libbing on the show. We wouldn't change what the writers wrote. We wouldn't change the storylines. But in each scene, there'd be a line or two that we would just add that kind of made fun. And the writers started adding more of that anyway, because I think the humor of the show is what made it interesting for people. I think that's what they liked about it. It was always very tongue-in-cheek, and we made fun of ourselves, and I think that's why people enjoyed it. I lived in Milano per 8 mesi, 25 anni fa. It was a long time ago. I was a photographer modelli at Beatrice Models. Hey Beatrice, how are you? I had a wonderful time there. I lived, like I said, I lived for 8 months there, and had a wonderful time. I actually became friends with Gianni Versace and Giorgio Armani. I knew those guys, and it was a good experience for me.